I woke up smiling that morning, the kind of smile that comes from certainty. Christmas light spilled through the curtains, soft and golden, and for the first time in months my chest felt light. Today was the day. I lay there staring at the ceiling thinking, this is it. This is when everything finally becomes real. Emma was still asleep beside me. I turned my head and watched her breathe. I whispered, "Today changes everything," even though she couldn't hear me. In the kitchen, Mom was already busy. "You're up early," she said, glancing at me. "I couldn't sleep," I replied. She smiled. "Big day." I nodded. "Yeah, really big." Ryan walked in moments later, fresh and energetic, clapping his hands together. "Smells good in here," he said. Then he looked at me and smirked. "You look nervous, brother." "I'm excited," I said. "There's a difference." Emma joined us soon after, dressed beautifully, but something was off. She didn't look at me the way she usually did. When I reached for her hand, she hesitated for a half-second before letting me hold it. "You okay?" I asked softly. "Yeah," she said too quickly. "Just tired." Ryan laughed. "Everyone's tired on Christmas. Relax." I tried to relax, but I couldn't. The house filled with relatives, laughter bouncing off the walls, wrapping paper tearing, glasses clinking. People kept asking, "So when's the wedding?" I smiled every time, thinking, tonight. You'll know tonight. Emma stayed close to Ryan all day. I told myself I was imagining it. When she laughed, she looked at him. When he spoke, she listened like it mattered more. At dinner, Dad raised his glass. "Family," he said. "That's what today is about." I raised mine too. My heart pounded. This was my moment. I glanced at Emma, ready to meet her eyes, ready to take her hand and stand. She stood first. "Can I say something?" she asked. The room went quiet. I smiled at her. "You're stealing my thunder," I joked. She didn't smile back. She clasped her hands together, eyes darting around the room. "I didn't plan this," she said. "But I can't lie anymore." My stomach dropped. "I've been trying to ignore my feelings," she continued. "But it wouldn't be fair. Not to myself. Not to anyone." I whispered, "Emma?" She didn't look at me. She turned toward Ryan instead. "I'm in love," she said, her voice shaking. "And it's not with him." The world stopped. Mom gasped. "What?" Ryan stiffened beside her. Emma swallowed. "It's with Ryan." Someone dropped a fork. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline, the joke, the gotcha moment. "That's not funny," I said. Ryan stood up. "It's not a joke." I looked at him. "You're kidding." He shook his head. "I didn't want it to happen. But it did." I laughed once, sharp and broken. "You didn't want it?" Emma finally looked at me. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "Then stop," I said. "Right now." She shook her head slowly. "I can't." Mom rushed forward. "Emma, think about what you're saying." "I have," she said. "For months." Months. Ryan reached for her hand. She let him. My legs felt numb. "So this is it?" I asked. "You choose him." Tears filled her eyes. "I'm sorry." Ryan said, "I never wanted it to be this way." "Then sit down," I snapped. "You didn't?" I looked around the room. No one met my eyes. Dad stared at the table. Mom looked torn. I nodded slowly. "Okay." Emma stepped back, pulling her hand from mine. She picked up her coat. "I'll stay with Ryan tonight," she said. She walked toward the door. I followed her with my eyes, every step burning into me. At the doorway she paused, then left without looking back. The door closed. No one spoke. Christmas lights blinked behind me, mocking and bright. And just like that, Christmas wasn't mine anymore. No one moved after the door closed. The silence felt louder than the shouting that should have come next. I stood there, hands at my sides, staring at the spot where Emma had been seconds ago. Mom broke first. "You don't understand," she said softly. "Feelings happen." I turned toward her. "To my brother?" She winced. "Lower your voice." "So you do hear me," I said. Ryan cleared his throat. "I never wanted to hurt you." I laughed, short and hollow. "Then why does it feel like you aimed straight for me?" Emma stood near him, arms crossed like she was cold. "I didn't plan this," she said again. "It just happened." "Funny," I replied. "Because my whole life just happened too." Dad stayed quiet, eyes locked on his glass. I waited for him to say something. "Anything." "Say something," I said. He didn't look up. Mom stepped between us. "You need to calm down." I stared at her. "I just lost my fiancée and my brother in the same sentence." Ryan sighed. You're being dramatic. That word hit harder than the betrayal. Dramatic? I repeated. You're holding her hand. Emma pulled away from him slightly. Don't make it worse. I'm not, I said. You are. She shook her head. I didn't choose this to hurt you. But you chose him, I said. Right here. In front of everyone. Ryan said, love isn't something you schedule. No, I replied. But loyalty is. Mom looked torn. Ryan is still your brother. I nodded. And you're still my mother. But none of you are choosing me. Emma stepped forward. I never meant to embarrass you. I met her eyes. You stood under the tree I decorated and announced it like a gift. Tears welled in her eyes. What did you want me to do? Lie forever? No, I said. Just not this. No one spoke again. The lights blinked behind them. I felt small, like I'd been pushed outside my own life. I'm leaving, I said. Mom grabbed my arm. Please don't make tonight worse. I pulled away. You already did. Ryan said, you'll regret walking out like this. I grabbed my coat. At least it'll be my choice. The door closed behind me, cold air slapping my face. Outside, the neighborhood glowed. Every house looked warm. Every window held a version of Christmas I no longer belonged to. I walked with no direction. Laughter drifted from open doors. Someone hugged their partner under string lights. I kept my hands in my pockets, fists clenched. What did I miss? I wondered. When did I stop being enough? My phone buzzed. Emma. I didn't answer. Another buzz. Ryan. I turned the phone off. I replayed moments I once loved. Her laugh. His jokes. Family dinners where I thought I was safe. All of it twisted now, poisoned. Idiot, I muttered to myself. I saw my reflection in a store window. I looked empty. Like someone had taken something vital and forgotten to put it back. I thought about how Mom rushed to protect them. How Dad stayed silent. How easy it was for everyone to move on without me. That realization hurt more than the betrayal. My phone buzzed again. Lucas. I stared at his name until the screen went dark. I didn't want comfort. I didn't want pity. I wanted someone to tell me this wasn't real. I kept walking. Snow crunched beneath my shoes. I remembered Emma once saying, "You're the safest place I know." I laughed out loud at that. A stranger passing by glanced at me. I whispered, "Guess safe wasn't exciting?" I reached the end of the street and stopped. Behind me, my childhood home glowed. Ahead of me, nothing waited. For the first time, I understood something clearly. I had never been chosen. Not tonight. Not ever. And standing there alone, under someone else's Christmas lights, I felt myself breaking into pieces I didn't know how to gather yet. The apartment was quiet in a way that felt unnatural. No voices. No arguments. No laughter that suddenly stopped when I entered the room. Just silence, thick and heavy, sitting with me every morning when I woke up. I moved out without telling anyone. I packed what I needed, left the rest behind, and didn't look back. The fewer things I carried, the lighter my chest felt. Still heavy but manageable. Lucas was the first person I answered after weeks. "Where the hell did you go?" he asked the moment I picked up. "I needed space," I said. "You scared me." "I scared myself too," I replied. He exhaled slowly. "Are you okay?" "No," I said. "But I'm alive." "That's a start." He came over that evening. He looked around my place and nodded. "This fits you." "I don't know who that is anymore." "You will." We sat on the floor with takeout boxes between us. "You haven't talked to them?" he asked. "I blocked them." "All of them?" "Yes." He hesitated. "Your mom called me." I clenched my jaw. "What did she say?" "That Emma and Ryan are happy." I laughed once. "Good for them." That didn't sound convincing. "It's not supposed to." Lucas leaned forward. "You don't owe them anything." "I know," I said. "That's the problem. I spent years thinking I did." He didn't argue. He just nodded. The days blurred together after that. Work, sleep, repeat. Some nights I stared at the ceiling, replaying every conversation I ever had with Emma. "You're different," she used to say. I thought that was a compliment, I muttered to myself. My phone buzzed one night. "Emma, I didn't mean for things to happen this way." I stared at the screen. "I hope one day you understand." I typed back nothing. I deleted the message. Then I deleted the thread. The next day Ryan tried. "We should talk. We're still family." I laughed out loud. "Family?" I said to the empty room. Delete. Lucas noticed the change before I did. "You're quieter," he said one afternoon. "I'm listening instead of reacting." That can be dangerous. It can also be necessary. We walked past a cafe near my old place. I heard my name. Did you hear about Emma? Someone whispered. Yeah, she and Ryan look so happy. I kept walking. Lucas glanced at me. You okay? I'm done bleeding in public. That night I almost broke. I almost called Emma. I almost asked why. The question burned in my throat. Instead I said out loud, she chose? I didn't lose. The words felt strange, but they stayed. Another message came days later. I never stopped caring about you. I shook my head. Caring isn't choosing. Delete. Weeks passed. I started running in the mornings just to feel something that wasn't anger. My lungs burned. My legs hurt. I welcomed it. Lucas joined me once. You're different, he said between breaths. I'm learning how to shut up, I replied. That doesn't sound healthy. It's survival. One evening I saw my parents at the grocery store. My mom spotted me first. Can we talk? She asked. I shook my head. Not yet. She reached for me. I stepped back. I love you, she said. I know, I replied. But love without action is noise. She cried. I walked away. At home I sat on the floor again. The same spot where Lucas had sat weeks earlier. I won't beg, I said to myself. I won't scream. I won't compete. I stood and looked at my reflection in the mirror. They don't get access anymore, I said quietly. The silence answered me. And for the first time since Christmas, it didn't feel like punishment. It felt like protection. I wasn't healed. I wasn't over it. But I was standing. And that was enough for now. I didn't want to go. I stood outside my parents' house for a full minute before knocking, telling myself I'd leave if my chest tightened too much. It didn't. That should have warned me. Hey, Mom said when she opened the door, relief flashing across her face. I'm glad you came. I won't stay long, I replied. That's fine, she said quickly. Just, come in. The house smelled the same. Too familiar. Ryan's laugh drifted from the living room. I followed the sound like I had no choice. Emma was standing beside him. She looked good. Too good. Her hand rested on his arm, fingers curled like they belonged there. He noticed me first. You made it, he said, forcing a smile. I nodded. Barely. Emma's eyes flicked toward me, then away. Hi. Hi, I said. Everyone gathered near the couch. Dad cleared his throat. We have something to share. Ryan straightened, chest out. Emma took a breath. I'm pregnant, she said. The room exploded. Oh my God, Mom cried. That's wonderful. Dad smiled. Congratulations. Hands reached for Emma. Hugs followed. Laughter filled the air. I stood there, unmoving. Ryan looked at me, searching my face. You okay? I nodded slowly. Yeah. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't jealousy. Something inside me snapped cleanly like a rope finally cut. Emma watched me carefully. When the noise died down, she moved closer. Can we talk? She asked. Sure, I said. Why not? We stepped into the hallway. The door closed behind us. She folded her arms. I didn't want you finding out like that. That was your plan? I asked. A surprise reveal? She flinched. Don't be like that. Like what? Cold? I smiled slightly. You mean calm? She exhaled. I didn't expect you to look so fine. That bothers you? She hesitated. A little. I nodded. Good. Her eyes softened. This isn't easy for me either. I looked at her. You're pregnant and celebrated. I'm listening. She stepped closer. I still think about you. I raised an eyebrow. Do you hear yourself? I'm being honest. No, I said. You're being greedy. Her face tightened. That's unfair. So was Christmas. She swallowed. Ryan doesn't understand me the way you did. I shrugged. You chose him anyway. She touched my arm. I didn't move. I never stopped caring, she whispered. I looked down at her hand. Move it. She pulled back like she'd been burned. Why are you so distant? She asked. Because distance keeps things clear. Her eyes filled. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know, I said. You just did it anyway. Ryan appeared at the end of the hall. Everything okay? Emma forced a smile. Yeah. I nodded. Perfect. He looked between us. We're starting cake. I won't stay, I said. Mom intercepted me near the door. You didn't say congratulations. I met her eyes. I don't have to celebrate things that cost me my place. She looked hurt. We're family. Families choose, I replied. I see who you chose. Outside the air felt clean. I stood on the porch for a moment, letting it settle. Lucas called as I walked to my car. You went, didn't you? He said. Yeah. And? They're pregnant. Silence. Then, how do you feel? Clear, I said. That scares me. It shouldn't. I drove home without music. Without anger. My thoughts lined up neatly for the first time. I didn't want revenge the way movies showed it. I didn't want shouting or destruction. I wanted balance. I wanted control. At home, I sat at the table and spoke out loud. I won't fix them, I said. I won't expose them. I'll rebuild myself so completely they won't recognize me. My phone buzzed. Emma, can we talk again soon? I stared at it. Then I turned it face down. Revenge didn't arrive with fury. It arrived with precision. And for the first time since Christmas, I knew exactly what I was going to do next. I didn't announce my comeback. I didn't post quotes or send messages. I rebuilt quietly, the way people do when they're done explaining themselves. Lucas noticed first. You're different again, he said over coffee. But not in a scary way this time. I'm done surviving, I replied. Now I'm organizing. He smiled. Good. Then it's time you meet Sarah. We met her in a small office that smelled like paper and calm. She didn't waste time. Tell me what you shared, she said, pen ready. Bank accounts, I said. One property. Some investments. And your name is on all of them? Yes. She nodded. Then you're not powerless. You're just late. I liked her immediately. Lucas leaned back. I told you she's sharp. Sarah looked at me. This isn't revenge. This is protection. That's all I want, I said. We spent an hour untangling things I never thought I'd need to. By the time we finished, I felt lighter. You don't owe emotional access to people who chose against you, Sarah said. I repeated it later, alone. It stuck. I blocked Emma completely that night. No warning. No explanation. 2 days later, she found another way. I don't understand why you shut me out, she said when I finally answered a call I shouldn't have. I didn't shut you out, I replied. I closed a door. Her voice trembled. I need to talk to you. You need comfort, I said. I'm not it anymore. She went quiet. You used to care. I still do, I replied. From a distance. She hung up. Ryan didn't call. But I heard things. He's stressed, my mom told Lucas, who told me later. Money's tight. He didn't expect things to be this hard. I laughed. Neither did I. Ryan finally cornered me outside my office one evening. You're really going to ignore me? He asked. Yes, I said. He scoffed. You think you're better than us now? I think I'm done competing. He stepped closer. You're punishing us. No, I replied. I stopped participating. That scared him. I could see it. Emma tried again a week later. A long message. I made a mistake. I didn't realize what I was giving up. I read it once. Then I deleted it. I didn't respond. That was the response. Lucas called that night. She's spiraling. I know, I said. You don't feel bad? I feel done. That silence between us wasn't cold. It was final. Ryan's cracks widened fast. He called me late one night. I don't know what I'm doing, he admitted. That's not my problem. You used to help me. I used to think helping meant shrinking myself. He laughed bitterly. So this is revenge? No, I said. This is self-respect. He hung up angry. At work things changed too. I stopped over-explaining. I stopped waiting for approval. People noticed. You've got presence now, my manager said. I nodded. I stopped apologizing. Emma showed up at my door once. I didn't open it. Please, she said through the wood. Just talk to me. I leaned against the door. You're not lost, I said. You're just uncomfortable. She cried. I don't recognize you. Good, I replied. I finally do. She left. That night, I stood in front of the mirror and said the truth out loud. I don't need to be kind to people who were cruel to me. The words didn't feel heavy. They felt accurate. Sarah called the next day. Everything's clean now. They can't touch what's yours. Thank you, I said. She paused. You okay? Yes, I replied. For real. I went for a run that evening. Not to escape. To celebrate breath in my lungs. Lucas met me halfway. You look calm. I am. Do you miss her? I considered it. I miss who I thought she was. That's normal. So is outgrowing. Ryan texted once more. We should talk before it gets worse. I replied for the first time. This is what worse looks like when I stop carrying you. Then I blocked him. I wasn't loud. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't dramatic. I was precise. And for the first time, I wasn't reacting to their choices. I was making my own. Ryan called me late, the kind of late that meant he'd been staring at his phone for hours before pressing the button. I don't know who else to talk to, he said. You're calling the wrong person, I replied. Please, he said. Just listen. I didn't answer right away. Silence used to scare me. Now it did the work for me. I'm not sleeping, he continued. Everything feels heavy. That happens, I said. Responsibilities do that. He laughed weakly. You always make it sound simple. It is simple, I said. It's just not easy. He hesitated. Do you ever think about us? About how things were? No, I said. I think about how things are. That's cold. That's accurate. He swallowed. Emma cries a lot. I closed my eyes. Don't. She says she feels trapped, he added. You made a choice, I said. So did she. He lowered his voice. I don't think I was ready. I leaned back in my chair. Neither was I when you took my place. He exhaled sharply. You never forgive, do you? I forgave, I replied. I just didn't forget. We sat in silence again. I thought winning would feel better, he said quietly. I nodded. That's because it wasn't a win. He sounded tired. Older. Smaller. I have to go, I said. Wait, he pleaded. What should I do? I paused. Live with it. I hung up before he could answer. Emma tried the next day. Can we talk properly? She asked in a voice that sounded rehearsed. No, I said. Why not? She pushed. We owe each other closure. You owe yourself honesty, I replied. I don't owe you time. Her breath hitched. You're punishing me. No, I said. I'm choosing peace. She went quiet. I thought you'd fight for me. I did, I said. You watched. That ended it. Mom showed up at my apartment the following weekend. She didn't knock. She stood there holding guilt like a purse she couldn't put down. I didn't realize how bad it was, she said. You realized, I replied. You just hoped it would pass. She sat across from me. Ryan is falling apart. I'm aware. And Emma, she added, she's not happy. I met her eyes. That's not my emergency. She looked stunned. When did you become so hard? When being soft cost me everything. Dad called later that night. I should have spoken up, he said. Yes, I replied. I failed you. You did, I said. But you're not doing it again. He sighed. Ryan wants to apologize. I don't want to hear it. That hurts him. I shrugged. That's growth. The truth was simple. No one was exploding. No one was screaming. They were just unraveling. Bills stacked up. Arguments replaced affection. Emma stopped posting smiling photos. Ryan stopped bragging. And I kept moving. Lucas noticed. You're strangely calm, he said. Karma's loud at first, I replied. Then it gets quiet. That sounds terrifying. It's honest. Emma texted one last time. I thought choosing love would save me. I stared at the screen. Then I typed back. Love without character collapses. She never replied. I didn't celebrate their discomfort. I didn't gloat. I didn't step in. I let gravity do its job. One evening I ran into Ryan by chance outside a store. He looked thinner. You look good, he said. I feel steady, I replied. He nodded. I'm not. I know. He waited. That's all you have to say? Yes. He stepped back like he'd been pushed. I thought you'd always be there. I said. You walked past me. He had no answer. I drove home with the windows down, breathing in the night air. Karma didn't rush. It didn't need to. People eventually meet the weight of their choices. And I no longer felt responsible for carrying it for them. For the first time, I wasn't ahead of them or behind them. I was simply free. Emma asked to meet me at a quiet cafe across town. I almost said no. Not because I was afraid, but because I didn't want to reopen something I had already buried. In the end, I went, not for her, but to finish what was left unfinished. She stood when she saw me. Thank you for coming, she said. I'm not staying long, I replied. We sat. She looked thinner. Tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. I won't take much of your time, she said quickly. I just needed to say this to your face. I nodded. Go on. She wrapped her hands around her cup like it was keeping her together. I made the wrong choice. I didn't respond. I chose comfort, she continued. Ryan was easy. Familiar. You were deeper. That scared me. That's not new information, I said. I know, she replied. But I finally understand it. I looked at her. Understanding after the damage doesn't reverse it. She swallowed. I'm not here to fix anything. That's good, I said. Because nothing is broken on my side anymore. Her eyes filled. I lost you. Yes, I said. You did. She looked down. I thought excitement meant love. And now? Now I know excitement fades, she said. Depth doesn't. I leaned back. You didn't choose depth when it asked something from you. She nodded slowly. I chose what felt easier in the moment. And now? Now it feels heavy, she admitted. I didn't smile. I didn't frown. I'm not asking you to come back, she said quickly. I need to know if you hate me. I shook my head. No. That surprised her. You don't? No, I said. Hate takes energy I don't want to spend. She laughed softly through tears. You were always like this. Calm when I was chaotic. I learned to be, I said. You trained me. She looked up sharply. I never wanted to hurt you. I believe that, I said. But wanting isn't choosing. She nodded again. I didn't choose you. No, I replied. You didn't. Silence stretched between us. I carry so much guilt, she said. I just want you to forgive me. For what reason? I asked. So I can breathe, she whispered. I watched her carefully. Forgiveness isn't something you request to feel better. She flinched. I know. I just hoped. I forgave you a while ago, I said. Her eyes widened. You did. Yes, I replied. Forgiveness isn't reconciliation. It's release. She let out a shaky breath. Then why does this hurt so much? Because forgiveness doesn't erase consequences, I said. It just ends the war inside me. She wiped her cheeks. I lost something real. You did, I said. And so did I. She leaned forward. I see you now. Stronger. Quieter. I stopped begging to be chosen, I said. Her voice cracked. I wish I had seen it sooner. I met her eyes. You saw it. You just didn't value it. That landed. I'm not asking you to carry my regret, she said. I just needed you to know I finally understand what I lost. I know you do, I replied. That's why this is the last time we're having this conversation. She froze. Last? Yes, I said. I won't punish you. I won't save you. I'm done carrying pain that isn't mine. She nodded slowly. I won't contact you again. Thank you, I said. We stood. She hesitated, then spoke. You loved me honestly, she said. I did, I replied. And I failed that love. You did, I said again. But I survived it. She took a step back. Goodbye. Goodbye, I said. I watched her leave without chasing her with my eyes. Outside the air felt clean. My phone stayed silent. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel empty. I felt light. Revenge had offered satisfaction. Release offered peace. And peace was the only thing worth choosing now. I saw them together one last time by accident. I was crossing the street outside a grocery store when Ryan stepped out first, holding bags, shoulders slumped. Emma followed, slower, one hand on her stomach, the other gripping her coat. They didn't look happy. They looked tired. Ryan noticed me and froze. Emma followed his gaze. Her face softened, then tightened again. Neither of them waved. Neither did I. I kept walking. Later that night, Lucas called. You ran into them, didn't you? He asked. Yes, I replied. And nothing, I said. That's the point. He laughed quietly. You sound done? I am. I had already packed most of my apartment. The boxes were labeled cleanly. No rush. No panic. I was leaving the city in 2 weeks for a new job I hadn't told my family about. You're really going? Lucas said when he came over. Yes. Any doubts? No. He looked around the empty room. They don't get to follow you, you know? I know, I said. That's why I'm going. Mom called the next day. I heard you're moving, she said. Yes. Why didn't you tell us? I took a breath. Because this decision isn't a group discussion. She sounded hurt. We just want to be part of your life. I want peace, I replied. Those things don't always overlap. She was quiet. Ryan and Emma are struggling. I know, I said gently. You don't feel anything about that? She asked. I feel relieved I'm not part of it, I answered honestly. She didn't argue. On my last day in the city, I met Sarah for coffee. You did well, she said. I followed instructions, I replied. She smiled. Most people don't. I checked my phone once before leaving. No messages. No missed calls. That felt right. The new city greeted me with noise and anonymity. No one knew my story. No one knew who I had been to someone else. At work, my manager said, "We're glad you're here." I believed her. Lucas called again after my first week. "So," he asked, "are you happy?" "I'm steady," I said. "That's better." Ryan tried to reach me once. An email. Short. Awkward. "I hope you're doing well." I didn't reply. Emma never reached out again. One evening, sitting alone in my new apartment, I spoke out loud. They didn't break me. The room didn't argue. I thought about Christmas. About the moment my life cracked open. About how small I felt walking into the cold that night. I thought betrayal would end me, I said. It didn't. It rewired me. I learned that love without respect is a transaction. That loyalty means nothing without courage. That silence can be a boundary, not a weakness. And that revenge isn't about damage. It's about distance. Months passed. I filled my days with work, movement, quiet routines. I stopped replaying conversations. I stopped checking shadows. One afternoon, Lucas said, "You never talk about them anymore." "I don't need to," I replied. "They don't haunt you?" "No," I said. "They taught me." That night, I dreamed without interruption. When I woke up, I didn't feel heavy. I felt intact. I had lost a fiancé, a brother I trusted, and the family illusion I grew up believing in. But I gained myself. I gained the ability to walk away without explaining. To choose peace over proof. To build a life that didn't need witnesses. Ryan and Emma stayed together. I heard that through distant channels. They survived. They existed. But joy never found them the way they expected. That wasn't my victory. My victory was this. I didn't take anything from them. I didn't ruin them. I didn't need to. I became someone they could never reach again. And standing alone in a quiet city that knew nothing about my past, I finally understood the truth. I wasn't abandoned. I was released. And I walked away whole.